I'm the type of person that can hyper-focus on my goals for 3 months straight and give it my all before burning out and giving up. I started my business in 2020 with a full-time developer job, and I went through a lot of ups and downs because I couldn't find a system I could stick to. There would be times where I would be so consistent, posting every single day and making thousands in revenue, but then I would burn out and my business would tank. And this will be a repeated cycle throughout each year. As I would recover from burnout, I would put my all back into my business without a new strategy, and I would quickly fall into the same habits of doing too much, burning out, and taking a long break. But this year I realized that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, we all know the saying. So I decided to sit down and come up with a new system that actually fit my life and allowed me to do the things that I cherish most. I have a goal of becoming a full-time creative by the end of this year, and having this system has allowed me to grow my Instagram account to 20,000 followers, start my YouTube channel and consistently post every week, as well as come up with new ideas like my Patreon launch. But the last thing I want to do is sit up here and lie to y'all saying that I just stick to this schedule to a T, because that is not true. If chaotic was a person, it me. I easily lose track of time when working on tasks. Some days I feel like I could have got more done, and other days I feel like not doing anything. But even with stepping out of my schedule here and there, I'm still able to stay on top of everything without burning out. But before I even sat down and mapped out my system, I wrote down every single thing I did throughout the day and my mood. And when I say everything, I mean I knew how long it took me to get ready in the mornings. I knew how long it took me to commute to and from work. I knew how long it took me to eat and cook food, and how long I needed to actually de-stress after work. Literally everything. This is important because it gives you a basic understanding of what you do throughout your day and week and how you mentally feel. And this will help pinpoint the priorities that just simply cannot be changed in a schedule, and other things that you can either shorten or get rid of completely. That way you're able to build your schedule around the things that you currently already do. I've created schedules in the past that looked great on paper, but when actually getting down to it, didn't work. And that's because I was creating schedules from scratch without taking into consideration my current schedule. So I wasn't thinking about how I actually feel when I got off work. Do I really want to work again after work? And I will also forget to add important things like eating in my schedule, so I would never have time for anything. Now that I have my current schedule, I'm able to look over it so I can plan out my new schedule. And I did this on Notion. I discovered Notion last year, and it has changed my life for the better. I literally put everything in Notion. And no, this is not a sponsored video, but Notion, if you want to slide in my DMs, it's an open invitation. I did sign up for their affiliate link though, so if you don't have a Notion and you want to check it out, definitely click the link below. It is completely free to sign up, and I will get a small commission if you use my link, so thank you in advance. But on my Notion dashboard is where I keep track of everything. I journal in here. I track my habits, track my budget, keep up with my content schedule, as well as my work schedule. And I wrote out my new schedule in Notion. As you can see from this table, I am a 5 a.m. girly. I always thought this would never be me, but turns out it has been the best thing, and it's really kept me on track. In the past, I would get up early specifically to go to work so I could work early as possible, so I could leave early to work on my business right after work. But this never worked out for me long term, because at the end of the day, 8 hours is still 8 hours of work, no matter how early I got up. So by the time I was done working, I was already stressed and just wanted to go home and relax. So I discovered that right after work was my de-stressing time up until bedtime. I scheduled out to make sure that I was not doing anything outside of cooking, eating, and watching TV when I get off work to bedtime. So waking up at 5 a.m. has given me 2 full hours throughout my work week to work on my business. And for me personally, it's really something amazing about starting your day working for yourself before going to work for someone else. Waking up at 5 a.m. to work on my business first has really put me in a better mood throughout my day, because it's allowed me to prioritize my passion. So that way, by the time I'm at work, my day's already done. Like, yeah, I just gotta come here and work for 8 hours, but when I get home, I can just relax. And during my 2 hours is when I'll do admin stuff like check my emails, check to see if I have any orders. I'll also edit some videos, as well as record some short form content if I have to. Then I'm off to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And once I get home is when I just de-stress and spend time with my husband for the rest of the day. And I'll repeat this process during the work week. Now, my weekends are very important because this is where I do a bulk of my work. I will script out long form content for YouTube as well as record and edit during the weekends. I'll also work on big projects like my Patreon launch that will be happening May 9th, so stay tuned, as well as commission work like this mural project that I am working on. But as you can see from my schedule, I also like to wake up early on the weekends too. Waking up early on the weekends gives me a large window to work on my business uninterrupted. So by the time that my friends are up texting me like, hey, let's do something, or my husband wants to go out and do something, I've already completed everything I needed to for the day. But you're probably looking at this schedule like, this seems like really jam-packed, and that's because it is. I purposefully give myself large windows to doing certain tasks like editing, scripting, and recording because it allows me to adjust wherever I need to. So I really won't work until 5 p.m. on the weekends, but I give myself that time because sometimes during the weekends I'm not doing anything, so it allows me to do double the work so I can be ahead. So now that I have a new schedule, it's time to create planners to help with the batch creating process for certain tasks to allow your schedule to be more flexible. I don't necessarily batch record content, but I do batch create the hooks, scripts, and captions for the entire week. Currently, I post regularly on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm going to be adding podcasting in the future specifically for my patrons. So staying on top of my content is a must. Like I stated earlier, I do this by writing out my hooks, captions, and scripts. So that way, if some unforeseen circumstances happen, like me getting sick, I can still post throughout the week and care for myself. Now, during the weekends when I don't have anything planned, I'm not hanging out with family members, friends, or have anything planned with me and my husband, I will purposely record more than I should. This allows me to be ahead of schedule, and it's actually worked for me a lot in the past. There have been times where I've had family members come over during the weekends when I usually record YouTube content. And because I was already batch recording my content in the past and it was 3 videos ahead of schedule, I was able to skip this weekend with recording and not feel stressed about it. So you need to figure out which task you can batch create that won't leave you stressed when unforeseen circumstances happen. For me, Sundays are when I write out my entire scripts, captions, and hooks for all of my Instagram reels for the entire week, as well as scripting out my YouTube videos. So you've made it to the end and you have your schedule as well as your planner for batching tasks. Now it's time to follow your schedule. But remember, schedules aren't permanent or meant to be followed to a T, so don't think you're a failure just because you can't stick to a schedule. As you're following your new schedule, you need to pay attention to the things that you are able to complete. And if there are certain things on your schedule that you're not able to complete week after week, it's probably time to adjust your schedule or remove that task completely. Remember, your schedule is meant to work for you. It shouldn't feel like you've put yourself in a box. So if the schedule you created isn't working for you, move it around, try something else. Maybe you hate waking up at 5 a.m. and you want to be a night owl. Do that, test it out, see what works best for you and your lifestyle. And remember, even if your schedule is seamless, it's still a guideline and we are humans, not robots, so give yourself grace. My name is Elle and I am on a journey to becoming a full-time creative. Here I document my journey and give tips to other creatives along the way. If you enjoyed this video, I know you'll enjoy this one, so check that out and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys over there. Bye!